Welcome to Liberty Listen. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem absolutely unstoppable, while others, with the exact same 24 hours in a day, the same intelligence, and the same opportunities, stay stuck in the same place for decades? We are often sold the lie that success is about sheer willpower, a lucky break, or working 80-hour weeks until you burn out. But that is completely false. The invisible gap between those who struggle and those who thrive isn't talent. It's an invisible architecture of daily behaviors. History's greatest leaders, innovators, and creators didn't have a secret playbook. They operated on universal, unchanging laws of effectiveness. But here is where most people get it wrong. They try to change their results without changing their identity. Today, you are going to discover the 7 psychological frameworks that will completely rewrite your internal operating system. In today's premium audio experience, we are breaking down the timeless architecture of extreme effectiveness. You are going to learn how to stop reacting to life, how to design your ultimate destination, and how to build unshakable influence. If you are ready to stop playing small and finally unlock the mental frameworks of the world's most effective people, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a life-changing lesson. Drop a comment below with where you were listening from. Let's dive in. In today's premium audio experience, we are breaking down the timeless architecture of extreme effectiveness. You are going to learn how to stop reacting to life, how to design your ultimate destination, and how to build unshakable influence. If you are ready to stop playing small and finally unlock the mental frameworks of the world's most effective people, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a life-changing lesson. Drop a comment below with where you were listening from. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Thermostat versus the Thermometer. The Law of Agency. Think about the difference between a thermometer and a thermometer. A thermometer simply reacts to the room. If the room is hot, the thermometer rises. If the room is cold, it drops. It has no control. It is entirely at the mercy of its environment. A thermostat, on the other hand, reads the room and then changes the environment to match its internal setting. Most people move through life like human thermometers. They react to a bad economy, a rude coworker, or a sudden setback by letting their internal temperature spike or crash. They surrender their emotional control to outside forces. But highly effective people operate like thermostats. They recognize the most profound psychological truth of human existence. Between a stimulus and your response, there is a gap. And in that gap lies your ultimate freedom, the power to choose. This is the law of profound personal agency. It is the realization that your life is not a result of your conditions. It is a result of your decisions. When you blame the economy, your boss, or your upbringing, you are handing over your power. But here is the fascinating part. When you accept total responsibility, even for things that aren't entirely your fault, you instantly take the steering wheel of your life. You stop worrying about the things you cannot control, the opinions of others, the weather, the macroeconomy, and you pour 100% of your energy into your circle of influence, your daily habits, your skills, and your attitude. Chapter 2. Reverse engineering your reality. The law of finality. Imagine you are walking into a beautiful, quiet room. There are rows of chairs, soft music playing, and at the front, a wooden casket. You walk down the aisle, look inside, and realize with a shock, you are looking at yourself. This is your funeral, 3 years from today. In a moment, 4 people are going to stand up and speak about you. A family member, a close friend, a colleague, and someone from your community. What do you want them to say? What kind of character do you want them to describe? Few people realize this, But every single thing created in the physical world is created twice. First, it is a mental blueprint. Then, it becomes a physical reality. A house is drawn by an architect before a single brick is laid. If you do not take control of your mental blueprint, society will hand you one. You will spend decades climbing the ladder of success, only to realize at the end of your life that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Effective people begin with the final frame in mind. They define their core values, their ultimate mission, and the legacy they want to leave, and they use that as a compass to navigate every single daily decision. Chapter 3: Escaping the Urgency Trap, the Law of Prioritization. We live in a culture obsessed with busyness. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, answering emails at midnight and putting out fires all day. But what if I told you that being busy is often a form of laziness? It is lazy thinking. It is allowing the urgent to completely consume the important. Think of your time divided into 4 quadrants. Most people live in a state of constant emergency, dealing with crises, scrolling endlessly, or answering to everyone else's immediate demands. The highly effective 1% live in a completely different quadrant. They spend their time on things that are not screaming for attention, but are absolutely vital. Long-term planning, deep relationship building, preventative health, and personal growth. What happened next changed everything for how I view time. I realized that if you do not schedule your priorities, your schedule will dictate your life. You must learn the ruthless art of saying no to good things so you have the space to say yes to great things. Chapter 4: The Abundance Paradigm, the Law of Mutual Benefit. In business, relationships, and life, we are often conditioned to believe the world is a zero-sum game. The pie is only so big. If you get a big slice, that means there is less for me. This scarcity mindset creates jealousy, cutthroat competition, and broken trust. But the most successful negotiators and leaders in the world operate on an entirely different plane: the abundance paradigm. They do not look for ways to win while making the other person lose. They look for the third alternative. This isn't about being overly nice or compromising until everyone is miserable. It is about demanding a solution where both parties walk away elevated. If a mutual win cannot be found, the most effective people have the courage to walk away and say, "No deal." When you start treating life as a cooperative arena rather than a battlefield, you build unshakable trust and long-term loyalty that compounds over a lifetime. Chapter 5: The Weapon of Strategic Empathy, the Law of Diagnosis. Think about the last time you were in an argument. Were you genuinely listening to the other person, or were you just quietly reloading your ammunition, waiting for them to take a breath so you could prove them wrong? We listen to reply, not to understand. Imagine going to a doctor who prescribes you strong medication without even asking what your symptoms are. You would run out of the office. Yet we do this in our relationships every single day. We hand out advice before we have diagnosed the problem. Later, you'll discover why this matters on a neurochemical level. When a human being feels truly understood, their brain releases a flood of psychological air. The defenses drop, the ego dissolves. If you want to influence someone, you must first allow yourself to be influenced by them. You must master strategic empathy. Listen with your eyes, your heart, and your full attention. Only when the other person feels completely validated have you earned the right to share your perspective. Chapter 6: The Alchemy of Collaboration, the Law of Multiplication. When you combine one piece of wood with another, the strength of the two boards together is greater than the sum of their individual strengths. In the natural world, this is called synergy. 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. 1 plus 1 equals 10. Most people are terrified of differences. When someone has a different opinion, a different background, or a different skill set, we feel threatened. We surround ourselves with echo chambers. But true effectiveness requires seeking out people who see the world entirely differently than you do. When two people with deep mutual respect and the abundance paradigm clash over an idea, they don't compromise. They create. They forge a completely new, superior path that neither could have imagined on their own. What does this mean for your life today? You cannot simply listen to these laws and expect your life to change. Knowledge without execution is just entertainment. Here is your action plan. 1. The 24-hour proactive challenge. For the next 24 hours, completely eliminate the words I can't, I have to, and they made me from your vocabulary. Replace them with I choose, I prefer, and I will. Watch how your brain shifts from victimhood to authority. 2. Audit your calendar. Look at your schedule for tomorrow. Are you filling it with urgent fires, or are you blocking out time for deep, non-urgent growth? Move one important task to the very beginning of your day before the world demands your attention. 3. Practice empathic silence. In your next difficult conversation, challenge yourself to simply reflect back the other person's emotions without offering a single piece of advice. Wait for them to say, exactly. The architecture of a highly effective life is not built on life hacks, morning routines, or sheer luck. It is built on timeless, gravity-like principles. When you take absolute responsibility for your actions, design your ultimate destination, prioritize your time, seek mutual benefit, listen with profound empathy, collaborate with open minds, and relentlessly renew your energy, you become a force of nature. You stop being a passenger in your own life, and you take the wheel. If this audio experience changed the way you view your potential, please hit the subscribe button and join the Liberty Listen community. Leave a comment below with the one law you are going to implement today. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, remember, greatness is not a destiny. It is a daily decision.